Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Todd Ledbetter from All Music. Hey, thanks for tuning in today and watching the video. What year is it? 1985. Boy, this is a tough one. I don't know. I don't know what it is about this year, but you know, this period of time was a little bit tough for me as far as music goes because it's kind of all over the place with styles of music. You got the hard rock stuff, and you got the new wave stuff, and you got rap. Rap is starting to kind of peek its head in, and just all kinds of crazy stuff. But it was pretty tough, and my list is basically my favorite stuff from this period, and there's some other good stuff. It's okay, but it's to me it just isn't like stand out. Just doesn't stand out like you would hope it would, or you would kind of remember it. I remember the time was a great time, but it was kind of a funny time for music for me for some reason. I don't know. But I got some great ones. I mean, I'm not saying that what I've got my list isn't great, because it is. It's super great, and some great albums. Basically, these albums are great top to bottom, and I it's my top six, and I struggled to even find like a seven. Because I don't know, just something about this year wasn't really happening for me. But let's get started with it. Let's take a look at what we do have. I've got my number six with a band that I really liked at this time, Inxs. They came out with their Listen Like Thieves album, and I dug this album. It's pretty good stuff. Michael Hutchinson on lead vocals, and just really had a way with uh, melody, I think, and then in words, kind of an interesting person. He was pretty much bigger than life kind of icon, or just talent out there at the time. And In Excess's sound was uh, you know wasn't in excess, it was accessible. I liked it. I mean, they had a lot of hits off this album too. What You Need, Listen Like Thieves, Kiss the Dirt, and then they got like Shine Like It Does, Good and Bad Times, Biting Bullets. This Time was a good song, a hit song too. Three Sisters, Same Direction, 1x1, or One Times One, and the Red Sun. Really good album. I had this on cassette and I listened to it a lot. I enjoyed it, and I liked their sound. There's something about that that I like. They had a lot of they had that sort of mid '80s drum sound, which wasn't overdone in this, which I appreciate. It wasn't that real gated. It was kind of gated, but not so much where it was annoying, like a lot of music at this time was kind of coming out with the super gated drums. And but then they got great bass line, really punchy. You can really hear it and really feel it. And then also, I really like that kind of guitar playing too. It's almost like it's almost like funky, almost like kind of disco even. I don't know, maybe not disco, but it's just that real twangy strumming. And then they got a lot of one note line stuff. I don't know. I just really like the way that they put this whole thing together. I was gonna just look and see if there was a little information on this album as far as Wikipedia goes. Yeah, so Listen Like Thieves was the fifth studio album by the Australian rock band NXS. It was released on October 14th, 1985. It spent 2 weeks at number one on the Australian charts, and considered an international breakthrough album for the band. It peaked at number 11 in the United States on the Billboard 200 and 24 in Canada. The album featured the band's first top five single in the U.S., which is "What You Need." Yeah, I remember, and that was a good song. I liked it, and it also won the group's Countdown Music and Video Awards for the best video with a hit with that single. A sign of the critical acclaim that In Excess had achieved. Yeah, okay, so that was just that they won that award was a sign of the critical success that they achieved. So Listen Like Thieves also made the beginning of the group's off and on alliance with the producer Chris Thomas. Yeah, so just a little background on Listen Like Thieves. I don't want to go on. You can go on, but I choose not to. Gonna try to keep this video short and sweet. So that's my number six for 1985. Good album, interesting sound. I like Michael Hutchinson. Uh, Sad ending to his life, as we tend to say a lot in the music industry, but that's the way it goes. It is what it is, and too bad he wasn't around longer to give us more music. All right, so let's go to our number five. Now, number five is somebody that I actually uh, you know featured their album in 1984 too, because well, not the same album. That she had two releases, and I'm giving it away. Super cool. Uh, Super cool album, and I love it a lot. And it is probably, in my opinion, just as good as the first, frankly. And that is Sade with her Promise album. I mean, this as a follow-up debut, a sophomore album. I mean, as big and as great as her first album was, this one was really good too. I mean, it had just some hits for sure. Like The Sweetest Taboo was a hit. It's also, well, it starts with It's a Crime, and then War of the Hearts, You're Not the Man, Jezebel, Mr. Wrong, Punch Drunk, Never As Good as the First Time was a hit. Fear, Tar Baby, and Maureen. All these songs are just cool. Just what a sound that she created. Really appealing to me, and I think a lot of people as well. But as far as finding six albums that were just really really good, she nailed it. She nailed it for a sophomore album. Let's see. Wikipedia says that Promises is the second studio album by English band Sade. It was first released in the United Kingdom on November 4th, 1985 by Epic Records, and then in the United States on November 15th, 1985 by Portrait Records. Recording for the album began in February and lasted until April, and the bands co-produced the album with the same team of producers they worked on with their debut album, Diamond Life. Well, that's why, one of the reasons why, including Robin Milner and Mike Pela and Ben Rogan. The album's title comes from a letter from Adu's father. I always thought she was Sade, but I guess that's the name of the band. But I guess her name is uh, Adu. Let's see. So the letter refers to the promise of hope to recover from cancer. Oh, okay. Well, very makes it even more poignant. Well, upon the release, Promise was met with acclaim from the music critics. The album was commercially a success, and it peaked at number one, both on the UK album charts and Billboard 200. You see, I haven't read this before now. I'm just reading it right now just off the cuff. So yeah, I mean, it deserves to be on my number five list. It became the band's first album to top both charts. It also reached number one in Finland, the Netherlands, Switzerland, and the top five in numerous countries, including Canada, Germany, and New Zealand. The album spawned three singles, including The Sweetest Taboo, which became a success worldwide. Yeah, so super deserving of, I mean, not that this countdown is going to be any kudos to her, but I mean, just for my own knowledge and my own, taste in music, it sort of confirms that, yeah, this is a really good album, and a lot of great hits, and just that smooth, kind of poppy but jazzy, sort of loungy sound that she had. She makes my list two shows in a row, 84 and this year's 85. So that's pretty cool. I don't know. I like it. Well, let's move on. Let's keep things rolling here, and let's move on to my number four album. Um, let's see. I'm kind of all over the place here. I'm still not really good at doing this, but I'm figuring it out. Okay, yeah. So um, number four album is Tears for Fear, songs from the Big Chair. Boy, when this album came out, Shout, huge hit. I mean, that opening guitar line, I just remember being, pretty young. I guess I was 21 by now, or at least shortly after this. Um, yeah, I was 21, 18, 19, 20, 21, for sure 21. So I started hitting the clubs and things like that. And this was something they would play on the dance, the DJs would play and we would dance to it. And I remember when the second that guitar lick hit, the dance floor would just pack. And it's not really very dancey, but everybody would just sing the chorus, shout, shout, let it all out. Yeah, so really cool. And I was already a fan because they had some great songs before this, but this was a big album for them, and I had this album and I played it a lot. The Working album, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, is a great album too. Oh, maybe that's the one that has the guitar lick. Yeah. Mother's Talk, I Believe, Broken, Head Over Heels, and Broken, and Listen. Uh, really good, different. I mean, they're very quality musicians in my mind. They really are talented. I got a little piece of hair sticking out there that's bugging me. Um, I haven't had a haircut in freaking months because of this virus thing, but hopefully I can get one soon. In case you were wondering. Uh, let's see what Wikipedia has to say about Tears for Fear and this particular album. Songs from the Big Chair is the second studio album by the English pop rock band Tears for Fear, released on February 25th, 1985 on Phonogram Records. The album peaked at number 2 in the UK and at number 1 in the US and Canada, becoming a multi-platinum seller in all three countries. It also reached number 1 in Germany and the Netherlands and top 10 positions in various other countries, including Australia, Switzerland, New Zealand, and Italy. It spawned the international single Mother's Talk, Shout, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Head Over Heels, and I Believe. It remains their best-selling album to date. Yeah. Um, a companion video documentary entitled Scenes from the Big Chair was released in 1985 once the band had finished the lengthy touring and promotion schedule for the album. They took an extended hiatus from the music industry. It just wore them out, I guess, huh? Well, that's interesting. I don't know. There's a lot. There's a lot here that goes on to talk about the whole album. But I found something interesting that I've known for a long time. Let's see, Roland Orzabal. I don't know how you say that. That's one of the guys, and then Kurt Smith is the bass player vocalist. So both of those guys are the singers. But I think it was the song "Mother." When he sings "My mother and my mother," it was kind of an interesting sort of line. And from what I heard, uh, Roland, his father hated the fact that he was a musician, and he was, I guess, very English or whatever, and just thought he was, should have been a doctor or a lawyer or something, and just couldn't wrap his head around. I guess he was fairly abusive in some ways. I don't know, verbally or physically or what, but I just his father just didn't like what he was doing, and it was kind of like a put down to his dad, and just showing him that the way he treated him was fairly cruel or something. I can't remember exactly, but it was just, that's that line in the song, "My mother and my mother," instead of saying "my mother and my father." Something that I always remembered for some reason, and I don't know how well I'm remembering it, but I'm gonna perpetuate my memory with you guys. All right, so that brings us to wow, we're already halfway done, and I'm even reading some Wikipedia stuff. That's crazy. All right, so here's a great album. I love this album. I love this band. Was totally into them at this point in life. Still love this album. Let's see. Let's get it. It is The Cure, Head on the Door. It was a really good album. I loved The Cure at this time, and I mean, at all times, really. Uh, Still had that sort of sort of depressing, but they're all kind of getting a little more poppy as well. You got In Between Days, Kyoto Song, The Blood, Six Different Ways, Push, The Baby Screams, Close to Me, A Night Like This, Screw, and Sinking. I really like this album. Very fond of it. It was different to me, to me, it was just something original, even though they've been around for quite a while, since the 70s. But I was really starting to get into them at this point. I mean, I was fully into them by now. And I just always looked forward to new releases. And even though over time the releases were different and they became very poppy, um, soon after this, but still liked it, for what it was. It was good stuff. Let's see what it says on Wikipedia. The Head on the Door is the sixth studio album by English rock band The Cure, released in August of '84 and recorded by Polydor, or I mean, on the record label Polydor. It preceded by the single In Between Days, which had reached number 15 in the UK charts. The Head on the Door was described by Melody Maker as a collection of pop songs with a variety of styles. It allowed the group to reach a wider audience in both Europe and North America, and in the United Kingdom, it became their most successful album to date, entering the charts at number 7 on September 7th. The album is the first to feature drummer Boris Williams and bassist Simon Gallup, who had previously worked on 3 major Cure albums of the early 80s and was called back for before recording this one. In 1985, the band became a quintet with an instrumentalist, Paul Thomas, as their 5th official member. Head on the Door is the first Cure album where all the songs were composed solely by the singer and guitarist Robert Smith. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Definitely cool album. Like it a lot. And still to this day, one of my faves, and definitely top 3 for 1985. Because, like I said, it was a tough year for me to find some good music, but definitely like this list. All right, so number 2 already. Dang. Okay, great album. Love this album for many reasons, and mostly for the guitarist and singer, Dire Straits. Mark Knopfler, Brothers in Arms. Great album. I could do without hearing Money for Nothing anymore, but still a good album. Just one of those songs that was blown out on MTV, and it pretty much put them into the limelight as far as that goes. It made their career, that song. But So Far Away is a great song. Walk of Life, pretty good song. Not one of my faves, but it gets a lot of play. I mean, let's see how many plays it has on the. Yeah, look at. I mean, I don't even know what that number is. Is that millions? A lot of plays. Let's see what Money for Nothing has as far as plays. Yeah, less. I mean, Walk of Life has more. That's which is funny. Your Last Trick, Why Worry, Right Across the River, The Man's Too Strong, One World, and Brother in Arms. Really good album. I just really like Mark Knopfler's guitar styling. Uh, Different. It was definitely unique to himself, and that's one thing I like is bands that have something you can point to that is definitely a uniqueness. And Mark Knopfler is a singer. His voice is unique, and his guitar playing is unique to himself. So that's pretty darn cool. And that's my number 2 for 1985, which brings us to number 1. If I had a drum, I would do the drum roll, but I don't. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you what it is. All right. Probably no surprise because this has been on my list like forever. I mean, Power Windows by Rush. I mean, they've been on almost every list. Every time they have an album out, it's been on my list that year. And a lot of times it's at number 1. Like this album, Big Money, loved it. Man, the way it started out, pretty darn cool. And Grand Design, Manhattan Project, Marathon, Territories, Middletown Dreams, A Motion Detector, and Mystic Rhythm. Super cool song, Mystic Rhythm. I really like it a lot. Of course, I love Rush, anyways, but that's my number one for 1985. Let's see a little bit more about Power Windows. It's the 11th studio album by the Canadian rock band Rush, released in October 14th, 1985, by Anthem Records. And after touring in support of the previous album, Grace Under Pressure, in 1984, the band took a break and reconvened in early 85 to work on the follow-up. The material continued to display the band's exploration of synthesizer-oriented music, and this time with the addition of sampling, electronic drums, a string section, a choir, and with Power Windows being, with Power being a running lyrical, Power being a running lyrical theme from Neil. He would use that theme within a lot of the songs. So Power Windows was recorded in what is this? Someplace in England with Peter Collins as co-producer and Andy Richards on additional keyboards. The album reached number 2 in Canada, number 9 in the United States, and number 10. Oh no, well, let's see, 2 in Canada, number 9 in the United Kingdom, and 10 in the United States. In January 1986, the album reached platinum certification by the Recording Industry Association of America. For 1 million copies sold in the United States, Rush released 5 singles from the album between 1985 and 1986, Big Money being one, Territories, Manhattan Project, Mystic Rhythms, and Marathon. The band supported the album with their 1985 and 86 tour. So that's Rush Power Windows. Very cool album. Big fan of Rush, even in their keyboard, sort of phase. And, they would continue with that. And then later on, they kind of pulled it back and went back to, a more rock and raw sound too. And that's what I like. It's like they just did what they wanted, and didn't really care that other people would. I mean, that was when they did 2112, they promised the record company that they were going to do something that was going to be a big hit and they're going to have singles. And when the record company heard it, they freaked out, and that turned out to be a huge success. And at that point, the record company never bothered them again, and they were able to do whatever they wanted, and their fans loved whatever they did, basically, for the most part. It's hard to be a fan of a band for 40 years for some people, but when I find somebody I like, I stick with them, and I appreciate what they offer for what it is and for what the time is, And in a time like this, when it was so hard to find good music, it's just kind of a relief that you have at least something to turn to. I mean, let's take a look at some of the other bands that were out that and admittedly I didn't even listen to a lot of these bands. I just for some reason didn't have a lot of interest. I might have known a little bit about them, but I didn't really care for whatever. Like Kate Bush, not really into it. Tom Waits, wasn't really into it. Let's see, Husker Du, I don't know. I never really cared for the Smiths. Some people really like the Smiths, but not so much. New Order, I like New Order okay. REM, Fables of the Reconstruction, a little bit of an REM fan. Phil Collins had No Jacket Required. I'm a huge Phil Collins fan, but not one of my favorite albums. It's, very Phil Collinsy. I like him more in Genesis, frankly. Then you got John Fogerty, Centerfield. That was like a big comeback for him. Good for him. Super happy that he was able to come out with something that was popular and enjoyed some success there. And then you got Simple Minds, Marillion. And that's a band that I need to get more into. I need to do a little more diving into Marillion, because they're like a progressive rock band that, in the style of, sort of Genesis and Rush. I don't really know how to compare them because I haven't really heard that much, but I do want to get more into Marillion and see if I can find stuff that I like from their catalog. Then you got Sting, Dream of the Blue Turtle. I had that album. and I tried to like it the best I could, but like I said before, I'm more of a Sting fan in the Police than I was with his solo career. You got ZZ Top Afterburner, great album. It was, real, they're more commercial poppy stuff, and I like it. Even going back to it, I realized, yeah, it's really good. I like it a lot. You got Talking Heads, Little Creature. You got people groups like the Eurythmics, the Pogues, John Mellencamp, Scarecrow. Good album. I liked it back then. It's just not something I go back to very much at all. But uh, I remember seeing recently Sammy Hagar has a show on Access TV. If you ever seen that, and I saw him do it, and he goes around and interviews people and famous musicians and stuff, and he interviewed John Mellencamp and was at his house in his studio, and I guess he's a painter, and John Mellencamp was kind of a jerk, and he was just like, no, I'm not into music. I don't like music. I'm a painter, and and blah blah blah. He was just really down on music, and Sammy Hagar was trying to like put a positive spin on it, but John just wouldn't let him do it. He was just really putting down music and stuff, and then he mentioned Farm Aid, and then John Mellencamp was, well, no, I like Farm Aid, and blah blah blah, because I guess he had a lot to do with that. But I don't know, sort of when people do that and they talk down their, what made them who they are, and it's just kind of weird to me. But anyways, and then you got Run DMC, Dinosaur Jr., Howard Jones. You got some Rat. You got Heart, Motley Crue. You got free. Uh, Freaky Style. What is that? Freaky Styley, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I really like Red Hot Chili Peppers, but I wasn't a big fan of that album. You got the Hooters. I mean, just crap. There's just a lot of crap. You got 10,000 Maniacs, pretty good. I interviewed Gabriel Gordon, who played with um, what's her name from 10,000 Maniacs, drawing a blank right now. But anyways, I interviewed him. You can go back and check out that interview. It was not a very good quality audio on that, unfortunately, but I'm going to get back with him and do another interview. Paul Young, it's okay. Aretha Franklin, not a fan, especially this Who's Zooming Who. I hear that at work all the time. I can't stand that song. Mister, I saw them at the Ventura Theater live. It was actually a good show. It was one of those shows like I described the show that I saw with the Fix at the Ventura Theater, where there wasn't a lot of people there. But this one was at the Ventura Fairgrounds, and so there's a whole open field, and yet and then a big a bleachers, because it's at like a speedway track, and same thing, not a lot of people there, and whatever the lead singer guy's name was, he brought everybody up, man, to the stage, and they put on a great show, and I'm not a big fan. It didn't last long for me, but it was fun, and the guitar player threw out a pick, and I was able to catch it, and I had it for a long time, but I don't know whatever happened to it. You got Starship, just at this point, I don't know. You got some Frank Zappa. Just, I don't know. Just, it was really, really hard to find like quality music in 1985. And I think I found it. I found what I could. And these are all stuff. This is all stuff that I listened to. I had all these albums. Rush, I listened to still to this day, this album. Dire Straits, I still listen to. The Cure, I listen to. Tears for Fear, I kind of come in and out. And I haven't followed them very much past this album. Although when I go back and I hear stuff, I like it. I really appreciate. I should get more into it because I really appreciate the quality of their music, the instrumentation, and just what they do. They are good. It's just for some reason I just didn't continue with them, and I need to get back into them and sort of discover some of their works beyond this point. I mean, I've heard some, but and then Sade. I mean, seriously, great album. Just beautiful, super awesome. And then Inxs, Listen Like Thieves. I had all those albums, and I liked them all, and they were great. I played them over and over at the time. So that's what it looks like in 1985. A little bit of a longer one here today, but I guess I needed a little explanation on some of these albums and how they kind of came about and where they stood, and most of them were huge hits for the bands, for sure. A lot of them, some of them were their best selling albums ever in their whole career. So definitely an interesting year. Not my favorite year for music, but you find what you can and you make it work for you. If you have other albums that I missed and you think that maybe were in my wheelhouse, put them in the comment or just put your own list in the comment. Let me know what you like. Be really interested to know that. And get some participation on the channel as well. Like this video if you got this far and you do like it. Please subscribe and notification bell and all that, and also go down into the description and check out some of the ways you can help the channel monetarily. I got some merch, and I got the Life Boost coffee, and I'm putting together the giveaway for the coffee mug. I've got my coffee mug up here, but I've got one in the box right over here that that I'm going to be giving away. So I have the extra one. I'm not going to be giving away this particular one because this one's got my lips on it, and nobody wants that. So and then a bag of Life Boost coffee. But it's going to be something like comment in the comment section. Like the video. Join my Facebook page for all music, and share my video, something like that. So when you do all those things, then you're in the running for the contest. And I think once I reach 100 subscribers, which I'm at 63, I think, it's kind of slowed down on the subscriber front right now. So I really want to bump that up to 100. Once I reach that, then I'll pick a winner. So hopefully that will help me get to the next level of subscriptions or subscribers and participation in the channel. So if you like it, please do all those things. If you're interested in the free mug and the coffee, which is really good coffee, by the way, I'm going to be promoting that for a while. And let's just look forward to that. And if you have any requests, or if you'd like me to do a certain type of a show, like top 10 albums, top 10 songs of a certain band, I'm putting some shows together like that. So if you have some bands that you really want to see some my top 10 list on, let me know what you like, and I'll check it out and see if it's something that's in my wheelhouse, and I can really pick out 10 songs of a whole career of a certain artist. Some bands I probably won't know, but I can check it out, and we can kind of go back and forth and see what we can come up with. So lots of ideas still, and look forward to this Saturday with my album review with Jeff Castanon for the band Duran Duran and the album Rio. That's going to be super fun. And I guess that's going to be it for now. And we're going to do 1986 coming up here real quick. I'll probably do it today and get it posted as well if I can. So we'll see you then. So stay tuned for that. And we'll see you next time. 1986 coming right up. Bye-bye.